All right, kids, welcome to the mothership. I wanted to uh, welcome you to March 2025. Kind of insane. Can't believe we're in March 2025 already. But here we are. We are up in the Wellington office today, and we are going to talk about Palm Beach County real estate, Wellington in specific, just generally what's going on. There is a ton of questions out there. And if you just want a snapshot and then you want to leave the video, market's pretty good for buyers right now. All right. So for those of you who stuck around, let's talk about why the market is good for buyers right now. So the interest rate, it's hovering and has been kind of steady around 6 point, let's say 7, 8-ish, right? Which is not the 3% that we saw during COVID, but again, I've spoken about this many times. That's never going to happen again. So if you're waiting for that, you might as well keep on waiting. Historically, it's slightly higher than we were going into COVID, but I think it's what we're going to see for a while here. So I think it's just a new reality. And if you are making all of your decisions solely based on that rate, then I don't know. Anyways, the reality is this. The reality is that the COVID market's been over for a while. I still get people that kind of say, "Oh, well, what about this? What about that? What about this?" You got to realize that the market, our market in South Florida, has been on like this sort of steady incline for years and years and years and years, and then COVID just bumped it up, and then now we're actually seeing some hiccups and downswings and stuff like that. We started seeing those, and I'm going to show you a chart here in just a minute. Several years ago, but nobody really paid, I don't know, as much attention, I guess, then as they are now. What I can tell you right now is that the market is very, very, very slow. We had a nice little uptick, yeah, I'd say from about Thanksgiving through the holidays, and then early January it kind of went down again. That is not true in the luxury, and I would really beg to say ultra luxury market. Locally here, which is actually on a bit of an upswing. So, it's everything's relative, but in general terms, it's been the last year was fairly, okay. But it started dipping about mid-year, and really we were in a slide for a little bit. Like I said, a little uptick, and now we're back in what appears to be, a fairly, uh, recognizable slide again. All right. Which makes it good for buyers because, well, there's three reasons. Number one, you don't have that much competition out there right now. And sellers are, again, making, concessions to sell their house. They're dropping the price, or they're giving you credit, or they're willing to do buy downs on the rate and things like that, which makes the affordability matrix much better for you when you're purchasing. For instance, we had our last purchase. Well, no, I'm sorry, last one was cash, but the one right before that, a couple weeks ago, the buyer got a 2-1, we call it 2-1 buy down. That brought the rate down 2% the first year, 1% the next year, and then it goes to today's prevailing rate 3 years from now. And the logic on that is that the rate, hopefully within, maybe it's not going to happen anytime soon, but hopefully within a year or two, we'll get back at least into the fives. And then they can refinance into that lower number permanently. But the first year they were, well, even with, and they had pretty good credit, but even with their credit, they were just under 7. So they're about 692. But this year, the first year, they'll be paying 4.92. Next year, they'll be paying 5.92. And then the third year would actually bump back up to that regular prevailing rate if they do not refinance. And there's some, depending on the lender you use, there's some lenders that will give you some other discounts and stuff. If you get the loan with them now, they won't charge you certain things for the refi, et cetera, at all. So it's worth looking into if you're on the buy side. And on the sell side, I mean, if your house isn't selling, and there could be a million reasons for it. And you want to sell your house, it might be worthwhile for you to do, to explore that option and to offer that because it makes your home that much more attractive to potential buyers. And the other thing too, and this is for my home sellers right now, with this market, you need to make the upgrades, you need to make the changes, you need to stage your houses, you need to do all the things that we were doing before COVID that we kind of forgot about, I guess, during this COVID couple year deal. But it's back to we have to sell your house. We can't just put it on the market and somebody's gonna come buy it. Okay. And we have to use all of the acumen and experience and programs that we did before. And now we actually have some crazy AI stuff and other cool stuff that's helping us to sell your homes. I'm assuming most people use it, but I don't know. But we are, because some AI is a little scary. Some AI is downright creepy, if you ask me. But some of the AI is actually doing a really big job helping us sell your house more quickly and for more money. Right now, again, I want to be clear, sellers, it's a buyer's market. Buyers, it's a buyer's market. It's just what it is. Okay. So for sellers, that means it's going to be harder to sell your house. You need to make sure you're using somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. Buyers, if you're still sitting on the fence, there will come a point in time. And again, I was talking about this last year, and I honestly thought that switch would flip towards the end of last year, but it never did. But there will come a time where that switch is going to flip, and then whatever that is, whatever happens, that's going to bring a bunch of buyers flooding back into the market all at the same time. And then you're going to have competition against stuff like that, and prices should stabilize, maybe even go up or something like that. But anyways, that's the 6-minute summary. So let's look at the actual stats here. So I'm going to share my screen here really quickly for you, and we're going to look at stats. And there's a lot of stats on this little deal. And this is a one-pager. We get much more granular and all that, but this is the general stats for, and this is Wellington in specific, because I actually had this up because I had somebody that was interested in really know what was going on. So we got really kind of granular, and this is where we started. This isn't where we ended, but I wanted to show you the most telling thing and the easiest thing to understand. These bar graphs. This is median sales price. This on this side is townhouses and condos, and on this side is single family homes. If you look at this is 2015, 2017, 2019, 2021. What happens? Woo, yeah, we go on a ride. 2023, it kind of dippy is in the middle, and then we get a little boosh, right? So this is the last couple of years, and this is what's been driving everybody crazy, this little whoosh. We get the whoosh here too. It's just a little bit more quickly, not as easily defined and as easy to explain. But if you look at the whoosh, here we go right here. You see this right dipping into 25, right? So I would venture to say that right now, based on what we're seeing in the market, we never stats are stats, and it takes a little bit to get them, and to get them accurate. So we're always a little behind. It's they'll do them 30 days back, but the reality is I think it takes 45 to 60 days to really see any trends or anything worthwhile. But this trend right here, I would say, we just kind of flattened out right around this very teeny tip, but now it's right back on the same track. So I would venture to say that we're probably right about here. All right. And the market is still dipping a little bit, sliding a little bit. Again, it's not going to last forever unless all of a sudden people start saying they don't want to live in South Florida for some reason, which I don't see happening anytime soon. But the reality is, and then this curve is a little bit more heart attack again with the condos and the townhouses. And this is largely because the condos are kind of insane right now. Condos are very, very tricky. Now, let's talk about condos real quick. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this because then everybody's just going to be looking at these curves until their eyes start to bleed. But you need to look at my beautiful face while I am talking to you about real estate. Condos. There are condos that are a mess. The condos that you should not go anywhere near. Condos that are as bad as all of the news. There's also a lot of condos that aren't that bad. There's a lot of condos that have been managed well. There's a lot of condos that are in good shape, that are in financially healthy positions, that aren't bearing the brunt of some crazy insurance numbers because they take care of their stuff, right? But it's very obviously important. Which ones are they? Well, make sure you talk to a realtor that knows about condos that can explain that to you, because there's a lot that goes into it. But I'm going to give you two, maybe three secrets here. If you're looking for a condo, make sure that you or your realtor obtains all of the current legally required inspection documentation for that condo community. All right. And these are the engineering surveys and studies. There's Yeah, they keep they just added a new one yesterday, um, because I take a update class every 2 weeks. But you want to make sure that all of the engineering inspections and anything related to insurance are current. Okay. Second thing you want to do is you want to obtain the budget and make sure the budget is solid. The budget, now reading a budget can be insane in its own right. So again, if you don't understand when you're looking at the budget, whether or not that means anything, much less whether it's solvent, healthy, not healthy, obtain qualified advice, which can in many cases be a realtor. But some realtors, quite honestly, they just don't know either. So just make sure you get some good advice on that. And actually, yeah, the third tidbit is this. It's very if you put blinders on, it's very hard to see anything except for tunnel vision. But if you kind of look at things in an open format, you can tell which condos are doing well very easily because their prices are staying elevated, right? If you're looking at a 2-2 condo in Palm Beach County and this neighborhood, they're all selling for, I don't know, let's just say 325. And you're looking at this neighborhood and they're all selling for 400. There's a pretty darn good chance there's a reason for that. Okay. And value is value. Now, that's not to say some of these ones that are down here, they might be in good shape now, but they were just in bad shape for a while, and now they're digging out of that hole value wise. Now, that's where you might get a deal. If you can get those condos that have now performed all of the engineering and inspection, right? They went through all of the assessments and now they are both financially and physically healthy, but they are still kind of, wearing that cloak of, oh, we were screwed up and our prices were down. That might be a great place to score a deal. You never know. So if you're looking for a condo, it's a little tip right there, not to make it more confusing for you. A lot of you might just need a place to live, and that's a whole nother story. But rents, I saw rents go down a little bit toward the end of last year, just a little bit. We had some laggy in rents. That is over now, and the rents seem to be chugging right along. So even with a 6%, in front of the percentage for mortgage rates, it's still probably much more affordable to purchase than to sell for many reasons. Plus, you get the other benefits of homeownership, like you can do what you want, and stuff like that, and you're building equity, and you're not paying somebody else's mortgage because that's all you're doing if you're renting. You are paying somebody's purchase, just what it is. All right, and in some cases, you might be paying a lot more than their mortgage, especially But anyways, all right. We're creeping up on the 15-minute mark, which is where I like to cut these down and shut them off because most of you are sleeping right now or running to add alcohol to your coffee on a Sunday morning. I have an open house I'm on my way to at 129 Queen Christina Court up in beautiful Hudson Island. So if you know somebody that's got a nice little boat looking for a nice little boat house with a pool with deeded beach access, have them give me a call at 561-324-8914. The rest of you see this little YouTube, the Andrew Bird Group thing. I don't know. Child, my producer, is a millennial, and I don't know half the crap she's doing on there sometimes now, but it's all very exciting. And there's actually a lot of information and a ton of videos to educate yourself about real estate, or just, I don't know, watch me talk, which some of you might like, some of you might not. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy your March of 2025. And yeah, wow, can't believe we're already here, but we are. And we will see you guys around Palm Beach County, maybe. Never know. Could be somewhere else.